when I get demotivated, uh, I try to motivate others. No, I motivate others. आज मैं जब देखता हूँ तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि सारा का सारा डिवाइन प्लान था. God had made a divine plan for me because when I look at my experience, industry experience, corporate experience, I think I worked in so many departments, so many multi-sectors.
Like it is mentioned that you went through an open heart surgery also. So, how your life changed after that, because it is not something easy to go in life, right? It is a very big thing a person carries in them for a lifetime, with such a big surgery.
Because no one expected me. My father was in army, and what he taught me was mushkil waqt, commando sakt.
How do you define success? Because the definition of success has truly changed in today's world. So, how do you define?
Success is about evolution. Success for me is about freedom. Freedom from my egoic identity. Freedom from my conditionings. Like, despite of reading so many books, and attending so many workshops and taking a kind of a pride that I'm 50 plus, I know more than you. So I realized these two things, and third thing I realized during that time was happiness. When you love, you'll be focused, you'll be energetic, and be happiness. Not catching off. Life is not sunshine and rainbow. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, nobody is going to hit as hard as life. Okay, and it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can take hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and you can keep moving forward. Reliability, certain schools and certain colleges, even there's a divide, which we clearly see the divide of urban and rural. Shah Rukh Khan, definitely, and in fact, I have made one video also about what I learned from Shah Rukh Khan. Thing is, so leader, if you ask me, जो leader वो leader. हाँ, leader मेरा कहने का मतलब ये कि बंदा competent है, जो very deserving है, आप उसको मौका दो.
वेलकम टू ब्रेकिंग द नॉर्म्स पॉडकास्ट. आई एम योर होस्ट सारिका भारद्वाज, और हमारे आज के एपिसोड के जो गेस्ट है ही इज़ किरण कुरवाडे. किरण कुरवाडे एक पर्पस ड्रिवन प्रोफेशनल है. ही हैज़ एक्सपीरियंस मोर देन 30 years. ही इज़ अ गलप स्ट्रेंथ कोच एंड ही हैज़ कोच्ड मोर देन 5 lakh इंडिविजुअल्स. उनकी स्टोरी है हाउ टू बाउंस बैक इन लाइफ एंड ऑल अबाउट मोटिवेशंस एंड लीडरशिप क्वालिटीज़. To know more, do watch our episode on YouTube and other platforms, and do share, like and subscribe our channel. So welcome Kiran on our show, and thank you to be our guest today. So to start with, I want to know कि आपका ये क्या interest रहा था which made your decision to shift from corporate to education sector?
Yeah. First of all, thank you very much, Sarikaa, because it gives me a lot of pleasure to sit in next of a very promising YouTuber, a supermodel by then, and social entrepreneur. Yeah, there are a couple of incidences which enabled me, agitated me, in fact, positively speaking, to make a very conscious shift, paradigm shift from corporate to the education sector. This was during 2012-13 when I was working with Videocon, and one of my major KRAs was talent acquisition. Of course, training and development, responsible for sales enhancement also. So we used to visit certain business schools, MBA colleges. I'm talking about Maharashtra, tier 3, tier 4 towns. And there, the private colleges especially, we have seen that the students were very hardworking. Students both hardworking hote. So the missing link was these students were not aware of the ground reality. They were not aware of the ground reality. What actually happens on the ground. अगर उनको कुछ लिखने के लिए बोला गया, for example, marketing की अगर बात करूँ, 4 P's of Philip Kotler, like product, price, place, promotion, they are brilliant. They will say, yeah. But when it comes to the application of those whatever the concept, the matrices they study. For example, 4 Ps. When it comes to pen and when it comes to plane, the execution, the application varies. So these people are not aware. I have also seen some of the business schools, they even were not serious enough to impart internship to the student, which was an integral part of their curriculum. So I saw this kind of a gap, and I thought, let me make a shift from corporate to education sector. This was one. I mean, the scenario of the business schools, because they were lacking that mindset, they were lacking that skill set. That is one. And when I was thinking where I can, from where I can make this move, which university, which college I can. So I came across a very, very promising person, very, very promising educationist in Pune. He based out of Pune. And he started the business school. And he used to talk about industry. And the one common thing between him and me was the fitness. Then he offered me, Kiran sir, why don't you just join us? And then I said, okay, fine. Then it was a very tough decision for me, because moving from corporate to education sector, it was like breaking the norm, which your channel is all about. So I was known for breaking the norms earlier also. So I had a very conscious decision with my wife, and she said, okay, but just take care of the finances enough so that we have very healthy family life. I mean, when it comes to finances. So then I joined him, and then I said, okay, we'll work together. So that was one thing. And soon after that, Sarikaa, after 2-3 years, this was around 2014-15, when I was participating through the college at certain educational fairs, I saw the status, the scenario of the counselors. It shocked me. I still remember one of the counselor at certain education fair. He was sitting next to the parents and their daughter, and the daughter was brilliant enough, because I was passively listening to her. I was just passing by, and some words struck me. And that student was very much interested into law, but the counselor who was representing certain university, they didn't have law, BA, LLB person, they didn't have law. And that counselor was saying, no, law is not a good career. And he was trying to bombard, he was trying to sell only the courses which the university he was representing. Then I said, no, this is not done. This is not the ethics. Because, see, this is something tarnishing not just the image of the university he is representing, but the image of the career counseling. Because the student, maybe like your student, but the student is a world for someone. किसी की दुनिया है वो. तो आप उनके साथ में ऐसा खिलवाड़ नहीं कर सकते. अगर आपके पास में वो कोर्स नहीं है, तो आप बता दीजिए कि भाई हमारे पास में ये कोर्स नहीं है. आप ऑप्शन दीजिए. Let them decide. You tell about the SWOT analysis of each and every course, and let them come. Now, luckily, the university I work with, we all are very conscious counselors. We give them options, and we tell them, these are the possible courses. Now it's your choice. So this was which sparked me, Sarikaa, to make a move from education to, corporate to education sector. Corporate definitely gave me my voice, but education sector gives me the platform where I speak my voice. I speak my voice. And आज मैं जब देखता हूँ तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि सारा का सारा divine plan था. God had made a divine plan for me, because when I look at my experience, industry experience, corporate experience, I think I worked in so many departments, so many multi-sectors. I began my journey with hospitality. Hotels, 5-star hotels like pizza, cafes, cafe coffee, for example, and then electronics, then fashion, apparel. I work with petroleum. I work with different sectors, and not just confined to one department like sales, which is very close to my heart, branding and advertisement, but also to HR, some of the functions of the HR and training and development, definitely. So मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ईश्वर ने ये सब प्लानिंग करी होगी, राइट, कि मुझे हर जगह, हर डिपार्टमेंट में, हर एजुकेशन, हर सेक्टर में, हर शहर में मुझे कहा गया कि भाई जाओ आप वहाँ से सीखो आप, क्योंकि आगे चल के आपको यही स्टूडेंट को सिखाना है. सो टुडे when I stand in front of the students, very innocent students, remotely placed, maybe at rural areas where I travel a lot, out of 1 year, today I travel 8 to 9 months, and out of 8 to 9 months, 15 days no, 10, 12, 15 days for on an average I travel a lot. Extensively I would travel. जब उनके सामने खड़ा रहता हूँ तो मुझे सवाल पूछे जाते हैं कि सर कौन सा कोर्स करना चाहिए, तो मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि मैं उनको बता पाता हूँ कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू आस्क व्हाई दिस कोर्स एंड आई कैन गिव देम एग्जाम्पल बिकॉज आई हैव सीन द ग्राउंड रियलिटी. वो अगर मुझे फॉर एग्जांपल एमबीए के डिफरेंट स्पेशलाइजेशंस के बारे में बात करते हैं तो मैं बता पाता हूँ कि सप्लाई चेन मैनेजमेंट का क्या स्कोप है और क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है, क्या स्किल सेट्स वो आपसे एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं और क्या सिनारियो है. एंड डाउन द लाइन 5 years 10 years लुकिंग एट द ट्रेंड्स, द राइज ऑफ एआई टेक्नोलॉजी, ऑल दोस थिंग्स, व्हाट यू शुड प्रिपेयर फॉर. सो बी इट एनीथिंग. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक प्रीमियर कॉलेज में शिमला, इट्स अ गर्ल्स कॉलेज, and they were very serious, aspirants when it comes to MBA, and they were asking me so many questions. I was delivering workshop on interview skills. It was 2-3 hours workshop on interview skills. So the girl was asking me, sir, HR में स्पेशलाइजेशन करना है तो एक HR में क्या क्या क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए. डेफिनेटली the communication skills, the personality should be in sync with the profession, and the AI tools, all said and done. But then she was asking about कि अगर मुझे talent acquisition में जाना है, I want to become a recruiter, so तो क्या qualities होनी चाहिए. And I said, out of my experience, see, recruiter should also have good negotiation skills. And she was like, I can see that smile on her face. She asked, so why? I said, boss, when you are getting resumes, you are screening those resumes, as per the JD ki aa rahe, freshers and the experienced people and so forth. Experienced people are coming, and your boss given you a certain budget in the bandwidth of say 10 to 12 lakh, and you find that candidate very very competent, right? But that candidate's present salary CTC is the same, and obviously she is expecting 20-30% rise. Then you should be able to negotiate what you can offer. So negotiation is very very important, and that this comes out of my experience. So this is the benefit, like having worked in so many departments, so many geographies, so many industries. India, like going to Saudi Arab, going to African markets, that gives me this kind of real knowledge, the ground knowledge, which enables me to be a good career counselor.
Okay, and what are the major life lessons you have learned with this over 30 years of diverse experience, from hospitality to corporate to education sector? What are the major life lessons you have learned?
Yeah, that's a very good question. See, every department, every company, every sector taught me something. By nature, by default, I'm a learning aspect. So तबात लाए, मकाम कर दिया, अभी दिल को रूहानियत से सजाना है. So that was coming up whenever I was in any department, any organization in corporate. So when it comes to my hospitality industry, it taught me professionalism. It taught me how to carry yourself, because you are not interacting with the clients, with the people within India, but you are interacting with the people outside India, right? That taught me professionalism. 7th of July, that was the birthday of my first mentor, my first boss, and he taught me the importance of discipline. He taught me how one should be emotionally intelligent. So he has sown those seeds. I remain grateful to him. So that is about the hospitality. Then when I moved from within the hospitality, that range, I moved to Domino's Pizza. That was my first organization around 2000, where I was leading a team. So the leadership qualities were coming, within me. So I was able to showcase my leadership skills, and definitely the impeccable, service, etiquette, all those things, the flawless execution. It started beginning when I was in Domino's Pizza. The processes, and Domino's Pizza also taught me, Sarikaa, very important thing, and this could be a lesson for the Gen Z now, and those who are into so-called bossism, that in Domino's our vision was customers for life. So it was very long-term vision, right? And the bosses, including the CEO, they used to wear the same uniform, where the people there in the store, making pizzas and going out for the deliveries, they were having those kind of, uniform. They used to wear the uniform, they used to come, they used to slap pizzas, and whenever you have to have some kind of a road show, going out and doing some kind of, a promotional activity, they used to participate. So they used to come on time, they used to lead by an example. So is with Cafe Coffee Day. In Cafe Coffee Day, I was handling a team of more than 200 people. I commissioned some stores in Pune and in Bombay as well. and there I took 2-3 initiatives. I got award best manager in the country in Cafe Coffee Day also for making a team who used to be team who used to help the other teams wherever there is new store opening up. My team used to go and they used to do all kind of work and commission the team. I mean the store over there. So I was known for that. So Cafe Coffee taught me a lot. And then moving to electronics, some Videocon, and then moving to fashion apparel. I worked with certain apparel company also in Bombay, the sense of fashion. Then I did this, the course on image management. And then going to Saudi Arabia, it taught me a lot many other things in aviation. I was on some elite project when it comes to engaging people, the leaders in aviation. And then in Africa also, I learned a lot many things. So it goes on in education sector. Definitely, the journey goes endless. So there is always something to learn.
Now coming to your personal life, as it is mentioned that you went through an open heart surgery also. So, how your life changed after that, because it is not something easy to go in life, right? It is a very big thing a person carries in them for a lifetime, with such a big surgery. So, how your life changed after that?
Yeah, that's a very emotional question. Because no one expected me. My father was in army, and what he taught me was mushkil waqt, commando sakt. So that is etched deeply in my heart and soul. And then me and my brothers and sister, we used to always in the fitness. Still, I have that boxing kit, and my hall is like a mini gym. So I used to hit the gym also. I'm coming to your question. So it was like a shock to everyone, to my family, to my friends, at the age of 54. And 4 years ago, exactly now, on 15th of July, I was operated. So, I don't know, on 6th of July, I collapsed. And when I was taking a bath, and I got up, and it was little chest pain, certain congestion. I got ready and I went to office 2-3 days, and before that night I had little chest pain, and I went to office. After 2-3 days, I did speak with my sister-in-law, who's a doctor. She's a pediatrician, and I told her, although I had some pain, and she said, "Oh, come on, you have to take it seriously. Go and do ECG or something." I went to a nearby clinic. I got my ECG done, and they said, "So sir, आप जा नहीं सकते, आप क्लिनिक से घर नहीं जा सकते." बोला क्यों, क्या हो गया? बोले नहीं, आपको हार्ट अटैक आया। तो I said, "Oh, this is a heart attack." So 6th of July, and I was speaking on 12th, 13th July, and she said, "No, go to some big hospital, because I'm some contacts at Fortis Mohali Hospital. It's a big hospital, you know that." I went there, and the same thing, the ECG went wrong, and they did all kind of checks. I was hospitalized. I was admitted there, and obviously, it took 2 days to take a decision. Out of 4 arteries, one was completely blocked, other was little, and they did angiography, and the video of the angiography was circulated by my sister-in-law with some cardiologist, and they arrived at a decision ki stent was still nahi, go for open heart surgery, keeping in mind my fitness, keeping in mind my mindset. I said it's very safe. I said okay, fine. किस्मत में अगर लिखा है कि चीरफाड़ होनी है तो फिर कोई बात नहीं. So that was the thing, and that was very important days. That 6th heart attack happened, and one of
6 heart attacks.
6th July that heart attack happened.
Yeah.
And 15th July I got operated. So 6th July is very important for me because that's the birthday of my inspiration of life. I don't know if you are aware. I'm sure you must have heard about Rocky Balboa, Rambo, Sylvester Stallone.
Yes.
Great person. So मेरे कमरे में उनके उस वक्त भी बड़े बड़े पोस्टर्स लगे रहते थे जब मैं हॉस्टल में था 1-2 साल के लिए मिलिट्री हॉस्टल में. So आज भी मेरे घर में है वो. So I recall some of his lines. He said in Rocky 6 to his son, and I'm saying the same thing to my son. He says, life, let me tell you something which you are already aware. Life is not sunshine and rainbow. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, nobody is going to hit as hard as life. Okay? And it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can take hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and you can keep moving forward. So these lines are like my sutras, my mantras of life. And coincidentally, it happened on that day, and I woke up. I could able to rise. So this is what happened. And I came out after 8 days from hospital. And let me tell you one thing. The next day of the surgery, when that pipe was inside me, this for ventilation. So when it came off, it was like cutting the umbilical cord. It was a second life for me. It was like second life for me. And definitely I was in tears. And I made this promise to the divine that I'll work more honestly. I'll be more focused when it comes to the purpose of my life. And that's what. I'm grateful to my wife. And because for 1 week I was not able to even take steps to washroom, despite of doing push-ups on fingers and all. So she helped me to take me to washroom. She used to make me bath. My son used to take me along. So I'm in good. So I look at this as kind of a lesson for me, a reminder for me. तो मुझे कुछ पंक्तियाँ याद आ रही. जिंदगी के साथ मेरी कुछ खास जंग ना रही, मैं उसके फैसले के संग रहा और वो मेरे हौसले पे दंग रही. So I accepted. It was like a lesson for me. I accepted. And I thought, let me recharge, resurrect, and rise again like a phoenix. तो मैं उन सब लोगों को यही कहना चाहूँगा from your very elite podcast and broadcast that the people who are into 50s, the fabulous 50s like me. I'm not talking about the countries like Japan, Singapore, where they lead by an example when it comes to longevity and fitness. I'm talking about here very much in India. One has to be really health conscious, and health is wealth. At certain age, we all realize that health is wealth. So pre-surgery, you have to keep this in mind in RED. I have this habit of making acronyms RED, R-E-D, RED. So take enough rest. That doesn't mean 7-8 hours of sound sleep like a baby sleep. That definitely one has to be there. Many of us, they have to take the sleeping pills, all those things. So you should have sound sleep, and for that you need to work out. That E is exercise, work out, make a good blend. Get in touch with people who are really fitness trainer and very authentic coaches. Don't fall prey to some people like who give you fake promises कि भाई कुछ हफ्तों में, कुछ दिनों में आपके 6 packs हो जाएंगे. ये सब बकवास है. You have to check your current reality. If you have a big tummy and you are obese, overweight, and having some medical condition, which I respect, so you have to check that current reality and you have to work slowly. Yeah, that is R is for the rest, good sleep, and during daytime you have to be really restful. Maybe meditation can help you, or whatever you can unwind with any kind of therapy. But learn to snap your mind when you're going through the emotional trauma and be positive. That is rest actually, during daytime also. So you should be able to overcome the negativity. And exercise, it can be cardio, it can be strengthening. But then don't jump the guns. Have a lot of patience. Denzel Washington said, when he was getting this Oscar, he said, without commitment, you can't begin. And without consistency, you can't end. You can't achieve something. So consistency is very, very important. So that is RE, and D is the diet. मैं इतना ही कहना चाहूँगा because it's a very big topic now and everyone knows about it. By diet I mean at least don't eat that which is toxic. Like the trans fats and all those things. And sit with really good dietitian, really certified dietitian, experienced dietitian, and take from dietitian the diet plan and follow to it. That's what I would say.
Now coming to your that cinematic workshops you do, it has a very different style, like what we say, dance, push-up, catwalk. So how did this idea came to you that you do a very different kind of cinematic workshops?
Okay, so it's about DOSE. DOSE is an acronym: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Happy hormones. It's about chemical loja. And one of my favorite movies is Three Idiots, wherein Amir Khan, you know, Baba Ranchod Das, he talks about, like, you have to be in love with what you study, what you pursue, or your profession, everything. That love, the word is love, right? So, in the success story behind all my workshop, where people become so emotional and they feel the energy, the audience gets charged up, and they say "Maza aa gaya," is raising that happy hormones, endorphins, dopamine, all those oxytocin, jadoo ki chappi, all those things. Yeah. So that's what I do. I love to be spontaneous, though definitely I prepare a lot, having in mind certain structure, certain framework. Be it the students, be it the soldiers, this is the wide range I'm able to deliver. And I just don't deliver the content, I deliver the confidence. I deliver the clarity, I deliver the connections. So from soldiers, students to soldiers, from teachers to traders, and engineers to entrepreneurs. So wide range. So I maintain that workshop. So, and also Sarika, like you also know that, like the adult learning mechanism is very different. We people don't like to be dictated by certain terms. Bhai, aap aise karo. Even during school and colleges, which kind of teachers we remember? We remember only the teachers, but some kind of learn with fun kind of, and people who respect, and not only just focusing on so-called the parents. With due respect, the student who know the answers, but enable even the people who are sitting at the last bench, or maybe little shy, or maybe the so-called academically not doing good. That's what the real challenge for a teacher is, right? So I love to deal with participants who are so-called underdogs and dark horses. I love to enable them.
And what is the biggest challenges you see in students nowadays?
Yeah. Okay. One of the biggest challenges even today when it comes to Gen Z, born 1997, 2012, I think, 28 years and 13 years now, and after that this alpha generation, the biggest challenge is the prestige issue from the parents. Because I visit so many schools and so many colleges and the coaching institutes also. There is a pressure. मेरा बेटा डॉक्टर बनेगा, 3 इडियट्स को आके ज़माना हो गया, प्लीज़ ओके. लेकिन आज भी वो है कि लेवल लग जाता है, तो इंजीनियर बनेगा, तो डॉक्टर बनेगा, ये तो IAS ऑफिसर बनेगा, ये तो ये करेगा, वो करेगा. So the parents try to live their dreams through their children. So they have a lot of pressure. That is the biggest, challenge the Gen Z go through. Second challenge is, we do respect to the parents. I'm a parent, and certain teachers also. They think that Gen Z is not that hardworking. They're not that responsible. They're quite lazy. I mean, Gen Z are not the droppings of some, aliens, and some asteroid, something coming from, like space or something like. They are not born out of Google, right? They are very much like, born from parents, from the womb of their mother. So we have to respect them. They are extensions. In fact, James Flynn said, who worked, on IQ, and he said, every decade there is a rise of 3-4 points in IQ test. I'm sure you would have tried the IQ test online. I did try. It was around 119, 19, something like. So what I'm trying to say is, this generation, though there are exceptions in every generation, by and large, keeping in mind James Flynn, whatever he propounded, he says, so I see that Gen Z is quite intellectual. And when it comes to information, we are in information age, chatbots, everything, right? So they're well informed, but transformation happens very, very slowly, and there are many reasons for it. So we need to trust the Gen Z. We need to trust our children. We need to analyze what their aspirations. Yes, you should be there to take care of them, that they don't fall prey to something, and you are there like a safety net. Like in corporate, we used to say SOPs, the standard operating processes. So if you do some mistakes, you are landed safely. So you are there. You can tell them as a parent, suppose you choose this course, what are the concepts, and this, whatever it is. I did that in my own life. My son was showcasing artistic abilities in life. the only son. So I said, fine, you want to pursue humanities, go for humanities. And he said, game design, designing. So he did Masters of Design. Then he is emerging like a very fantastic voice actor, like. I said, fine, you want to test some of your more talents because you're not having exposure. You want to do masters in films, go for films. I'm giving an example, which is very much there in my family. So he's in love with whatever he's doing. So we have to trust this generation. So these are some of the challenges. Definitely there are other challenges when it comes to this youth. Lot many options. And the lack of career counseling, genuine career counseling, as we discussed about that, right? And then one more thing, when it comes to unemployability, certain schools and certain colleges, even there is a divide, which we clearly see, this divide of urban and rural. Today, because I visit so regularly to rural India, in many states, right from Gujarat to Guwahati, Kashmir to down the line Kanyakumari, pan India. So I see rural area, when I meet them, still they do not have an access even for net. Yeah. So they lack many things. But one thing I see when it comes to rural India, the students are really hardworking. Yeah. So these are certain challenges. और फिर क्या होता है ना कि गूगल में किसी ने डाल दिया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इंजीनियरिंग का मैं आपको एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ. हाउ मेनी इंजीनियर्स पास in India? I mean, I think 1 million, 1.5 million. And when it comes to the placement ratio, the percentage is the IITs and NITs and then IITs, and down the line, like maybe they're 70, 80%, then it keeps declining. And when it comes to the colleges, engineering colleges, private college, they are in Tier 2, Tier 3 city, maybe 10-20%. And latest, we have seen this year, like 10-15%, right? तो जब ChatGPT को स्टूडेंट पूछता है कि इंजीनियरिंग का प्लेसमेंट क्या है, तो उसको वो नज़र आ रहा है 10-15%. उससे होता क्या है, he gets demoralized, gets discouraged, फिर वो मन बना लेता है कि यार मेरा होगा ही नहीं. But then he need to understand. मैं सिर्फ इंजीनियरिंग का एग्जाम्पल दे रहा हूँ. Likewise when it comes to MBA also, likewise other sectors when it comes to education also. नहीं, I'm not saying that one should keep in mind the outliers कि भाई उसने 1 करोड़ का पैकेज ले लिया या फिर 50-60 लाख का पैकेज लिया. But that should be an inspiration. वो कर सकता है, कहीं से कर सकता है, मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. Right? Fastest man when it comes to 100 meters, उसने for example इतने सेकंड में 100 meters किया. So that is a hope. It creates a hope among all other athletes कि yes, we can also do it. Japanese अगर आज 100 club में आते हैं 100 years, like they can live. So it's a hope for the rest of the people. Yes, if I follow that RED, rest is exercise, diet, I can also live. Longevity and all those things. So the student should not over depend on the data, right? They should not over depend on chat bots and become like a bot. They need to understand that they are conscious beings and they can achieve anything in life. There is no person alive in the world who can't make a new beginning. That's what Scientology, Father L. Ron Hubbard says. I'm into Scientology. So everyone, बस शर्त है कि आप जाओ. That's what. So these are a couple of challenges which come to my mind, spontaneously the youth faces today.
And you have coached more than 5 lakh students.
Yeah.
So is there any particular moment which is close to your heart, which you have seen in your student journey when you motivated or coached them?
Every workshop is like, kind of a cinema. Quite memorable, not for me, but I'm grateful to all my participants. They love it. And but yeah, one program, it was around 2015-16. It was India's MNC and manufacturing setup they have in Goa, and HR. I had delivered one workshop for them and for their staff, and they said, Kiran sir, नए साल की शुरुआत आपके वर्कशॉप से करते हैं. So it was, I think, 1st of January I was supposed to travel, and I traveled, and next day 2nd Jan I was supposed to deliver a workshop there on, I call it as a change maker workshop. That was about change management, time management and stress management. I club it together, and definitely the holistic intelligence, which we'll talk down the line. It was for the shift wise कि morning एक shift थी तो 7-7:30 बजे मैं factory में गया 20-25 लोग थे and उनके लिए करना था तो 2-2.5 घंटे का वर्कशॉप 2-2.5 घंटे का वो था फिर बाद में एक मतलब कुल मिला के 5 hours around 5 to 6 hours engagement with these people training workshop then discussion because that is part and parcel of my workshop pre-test post-test then and there like giving the feedback so एक shift हो गया so it was planned for 2 shifts and the 3rd January was also the second but it was going on so well तो मैंने 7-7:30 बजे शुरू करा और वो सेकंड शिफ्ट का भी हो गया तो नाइट शिफ्ट वाले वो कहते कि सर वो कहते सर इसको हम कल करते हैं मैंने कहा नहीं अगर वो राजी है तो आई एम ओके मैं करता हूँ तो सारिका दिस वेंट फ्रॉम 7:30 8 o'clock in the morning till 11:30 at night 3 बैच मैंने करे 5 घंटे के डेफिनेटली देयर वर लिटिल ब्रेक्स इन बिटवीन सो ये मेरे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इसके लिए मेरे दिल के करीब इसके लिए बिकॉज दैट डे आई रियलाइज द पावर ऑफ लव आई वॉज इन लव डेफिनेटली आई एम इन लव विद वॉट एवर आई डू माई ट्रेनिंग whatever I work which is like when you are in true love you get 2-3 things in you one is the focus when you're in love you get focus you will not get distracted right for example somebody is in love with someone so that person will be thinking dreaming about that person nothing can distract वहाँ आग लगी हुई है उसको कोई लेना देना नहीं वो उसकी तस्वीर में खोया हुआ है whatever That's the focus, And I'm going to say this to the Gen Z also, like when you talk about the distraction. So distraction is what? Unattended kind of attraction. Like you need to focus. So when you are in love, you'll be focused. That is one thing. Second thing which you get is abundance of energy. वो एनर्जी वो ऊर्जा कहाँ से मिलती पता नहीं. That day I realized कि बस 3 शिफ्ट में मतलब तीनों शिफ्ट को मैं कवर कर रहा हूँ और मेरे प्रोग्राम्स वर्कशॉप ऐसे नहीं होते कि वो पीपीटी चला दिया दिखा दिया पीपीटी खेल लिया ऐसा नहीं होता है हम बाहर जा रहे हैं हम सेल्फ एक्सपीरियंसिंग गेम्स खेल रहे ट्रेनिंग गेम्स खेल रहे हैं मस्ती कर रहे हैं खूब हंस रहे हैं लाइक टीम बिल्डिंग एक्टिविटीज़ कर रहे हैं स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट एक्टिविटीज़ कर रहे हैं मज़े कर रहे हैं तो इट रिक्वायर्स लॉट ऑफ एनर्जी राइट उसे मुझे पता लगी कि यार व्हेन यू आर इन लव राइट you are there to contribute something for these people like they were deprived of something and some of them were like blue collar workers तो ठीक से इंग्लिश भी नहीं बोल पाते थे तो मैं उनको गले लगाता था उनसे बात करता था कुछ लोग थोड़े शाय थे so I realized these 2 things and third thing I realized during that time was happiness when in love you'll be focused you'll be energetic and you'll be happy boss और क्या चाहिए मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा That was. There were many other incidences. Every training program, like in Saudi Arabia also, people loved me. In Africa also, before training programs, it's my habit. I go there. I do kind of little, like a visit to the market. What these people are up to. थोड़ी रेकी कर लेता हूँ, समझता हूँ कि इनको actually चाहिए क्या, ground reality क्या है. Manager तो कुछ बोल रहा है, लेकिन हकीकत क्या है. When it comes to the customers, I go there. उनसे बात करता हूँ. So when I was in Africa, when I was in Kenya, Nairobi, when I was there, I was meeting them. People they were saying hi. So someone said, like ladies, gents, they don't like they were shaking hand, they were hugging. मैंने कहा मैं भी करेगा, all that, So this is what.
So you are a Gallup strength coach also.
Yeah.
So first, I want to tell our audience what is Gallup strength coach.
Yeah, superb. Gallup, Don Clifton, the father of strength, he propounded this Gallup coaching. I'm a certified Gallup coach, and this is one of the best. Best in the world, not one of the best, best in the world when it comes to psychological assessment, right? So it talks about the strengths. So what are the strengths? The strength is the application of the talent, the investment in the talent, whatever like that is what. So Gallup says. Clifton says, and they're called Clifton strengths. Clifton says that you need to focus on your strengths. For example, top 5. I was talking my top 5. Maximizer, maximizer, strategic, ideation, achiever, and empathy. So maximizer, now this is the divine plan. I was pleasantly surprised, and it was no more surprise for me when I look at that because I'm a kind of a maximizer. I love to enable people to maximize their potential. enable them to explore their potential. It begins with myself. If I'm doing this much, okay, can I do more? Not out of greed, but out of positive side that yes, I can do more. Yeah. So these are certain strengths. And then once you start applying your talent, it becomes your strength. Talent is your repeated behavior, repeated thought, your repeated feeling. That's what the talent is. Okay. I'm not talking about those talent. For example, someone is that talent in music. I'm talking about the psychological talents, right? So you convert the strengths into super strengths by continuously practicing, learning, and be careful that your strength doesn't become a kind of a blind spot. Yeah, because if you're a learner, for example, learner is one of your strengths, then you need to have the wisdom not to learn the negative things from the negative people. Yeah, that can become a barrier. So these are the blind spots which can become a barrier.
Okay, after working in corporate and education sector, how do you define the leadership qualities?
That's great. A lot of stuff floating on net. A lot of stuff floating on net. The plethora of books. Everyone talks about leader, leader, and that is what the pain area is. लोग बोलते बहुत हैं, करते बहुत कम हैं. And when there is no difference between what you preach and what you practice, I think only then you can make a difference in life. Leader is not a designation, it's a decision. It is not about the size of your cabin. It's not about the size of your followers. No. Leader simply means one who leads by an example. Like Domino's example I gave, the leaders which I met in the beginning, they were not bosses, they were leaders. So leadership for me, in my own words, is leadership is not about I am power, but to empower. And one has to be unbiased. There could be so many biases, for example, gender biases, or the people who are talking goody about you. Unfortunately, we have seen leaders, naturally they will get surrounded with some sycophants, you understand, chamchagiri and all those things. But the leader should be wise enough and courageous enough to understand why these people are behaving like that. Because maybe they are not that competent. Yeah. So leader, if you ask me, जो नीडर वो लीडर. अब लीडर मेरे कहने का मतलब ये है कि जो बंदा कॉम्पिटेंट है, जो वेल डिजर्विंग है, आप उसको मौका दिया. वो जो करना चाहता है, जो डिजर्व करता है, जो प्लेटफॉर्म डिजर्व करता है, वो not because someone is very close to you or by some personal interest or something. So one has to refrain from personal interest. These are certain barriers. The personal interest, and what should I say? A sick mindset the leader can't afford to have. That's what I mean by leadership today.
And after your workshops on fingers on push-ups on fingers and catwalk and dance, what your student mostly remember about your classes?
Oh, okay. Different responses, but I'll try to club the responses together. But one thing is definitely for sure there. That's a common denominator. Everyone feels energized, and they feel, loved, because that's what I said. Love should be there always. And many students come and say, "So, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा." बहुत सी चीज़ें इनसाइट्स ठीक है, इन्फॉर्मेशन इनसाइट्स और बच्चों को पता नहीं होती, नॉट बिग डील अबाउट इट, बट व्हाट दे फील कि सर जिस रिस्पेक्टफुल तरीके से आपने बताया कि आप ये कर सकते हैं, दे रिमेंबर, डेफिनेटली दे रिमेंबर द डांस, दे रिमेंबर द पुशअप, दे रिमेंबर ऑल दिस थिंग्स, बट दिस इज व्हाट दे रिमेंबर इज द एनर्जी, बिकॉज आई बिलीव एनर्जी इज समथिंग which is instrumental in transformation.
And you are the author of Tonic for Great Life also. So what is the main message of your book?
Okay. So Tonic for Great Life was published in 2012, and this was the compilation of my messages going from my desk every Monday when I was in corporate. By then, 2013 was my last year when it comes to corporate. And one of my team members, two team members, these two girls, they came with the prints of whatever I used to mail them for 1 year, 2 years, whatever And they said, "So इससे तो अच्छी खासी किताब बन सकती है." मैंने कहा, "वाह." So that was a compilation of all those the positive stuff which I used to mail, like officially to all the people in the organization, being in training and development. So that was this book is all about the holistic intelligence. Sarikaa, IQ. What's an IQ? What are the benefits of an IQ? For example, if you have good IQ, you can plan well. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So planning, that is the benefit. Analytical skills. Okay. And very much required. It's an imperative today. Be it any work. So that's IQ. And anybody and everybody can enhance the IQ. Yeah. How it can be done? For example, people like me in 50s, sometimes there is a challenge of memory, even dexterity. So I play Rubik Cube or something like Rubik Cube. So any thought which challenges you to think more, new, constructive, be more creative. Yeah. IQ test doesn't measure the creativity. Creativity is slightly different, but that's what today's world is. So AI is not a replacement for human being. That's what I think Narayana Murthy said. I read somewhere. It's a tool. So how we can differ from AI is, I'm talking in the context of this intellectual ability, is to be more creative, which is not measured by the IQ test. So IQ, likewise emotional intelligence. This book is about the 4 intelligence: the IQ, EQ, SQ, and PQ. EQ is emotional intelligence, quotient. There is a reference. Then the spiritual intelligence, SQ, and the physical intelligence, the body. Buddha says healthy mind dwells in healthy body. So for me, body is very important. If I see someone getting depressed, I see the physiological reasons. Definitely, people talk. Most of the psychologists, they talk about the mental ability and mental intelligence, the emotional intelligence. Yes, but how can you ignore the body? Suppose you are having some problem, some disorder, you have to take it very, very seriously. You have to consult a doctor, and you have to keep it very, very healthy, very fit. As I said, avoid all kind of toxicity. Ahar in Hindi is such a beautiful word. It is not just about what you eat or what you drink. It's about what you see. 5 senses. Suppose some people are seeing something. This is a little disturbing, but they get used to it. They become like happy slaves. It could be anything. It could be porn, or it could be anything. So they will have this kind of lifestyle. You see, it affects their personality. It affects their life. So ahar is what you are ingesting by seeing, by listening, podcast, whatever they are listening, what they are reading. I'm a very voracious reader. I not just read, but I love to present the book reviews. So after my surgery, my wife has assigned me this task because I was not having much of work for 1 month. After 2 months, definitely I bounced back. I resumed the office. In the 2 months, she said, "You read a lot? Yeah. If you can talk, make crisp review, book review, 6 to 7 minutes, and put it on social media." So in 1 year, I think I reviewed some 122 or 23 books. Just read and then post the review so that people also like it. So the message of the book is holistic intelligence, and you have to lead by an example. Even when it comes to Gen Z, when they're looking at you, you have to lead by an example. Multidimensional.
So Kiran, in today's fast-paced world, where there is so much of competition, there is AI taking everyone's job, almost. How do you define success? Because the definition of success has truly changed in today's world. So how do you define?
Yes. As we all understand, success is very, very subjective. What success meant to me when I was a teenager was different. Well-behaved boy. My father was in army. Being elder son, just take care of the siblings also. Be good when it comes to academics, when it comes to sports, everything. So as we move in life. Like when I was in job, success was different. Not just achieving the GDKRA KPI, the targets. But when it comes to family, the financial bent of mind, the acumen, when I got married, So then later on, today also, but for me, being a teenager or being now in fabulous 50s, I see that very clearly, that success is not how much you earn. But success is how much you evolve. That holistic evolution I was talking about in the context, IQ, EQ, PQ, SQ, how much you evolve. The success is about evolution. Success for me is about freedom. Freedom from my egoic identity. Freedom from my conditionings. Like, despite of reading so many books, and attending so many workshops and taking a kind of a pride that I'm, 50 plus, I know more than you, right? This attitude, sometimes people, even today I see those who are little, like 50s and 60s, कल का छोकरा मुझे क्या सिखाएगा, वगैरह वगैरह. So no, success is being, if I may call, spiritually intelligent. Peace of mind, the sukoon. That's success for me. That doesn't mean, that's what in my book I have mentioned. That doesn't mean to find the peace of mind that, I'm going to renounce my world, materialistic world. I have to run away from my families. I have to go to some jungle, in some caves, and no. I that is not my personal take. Okay, I respect the people who decide to do that. So be it. I'm not going to comment on that. But the personal thing is, wherever you are, that's an entry point. Escapism is not for me, so wherever I'm there, but do it holistically, do it with certain purpose. And here I would like to say to the Gen Z also, as I said, don't become a bot. Gen Z, that ZZ, you need to recognize that, we say, XYZ, XYZ. Learn from X generation. Yeah. Learn from Y generation. Okay, maybe in another way, unleash that X factor within you. Recognize that X factor. Everyone is endowed with that strength. I was talking about the gallop, right? Recognize that. Throw yourself into certain, different platform, not just one platform. Test yourself in different waters. Only then you will come to know. Yeah. So why is not the millennials? Definitely you learn from them, like entrepreneurial kind of thing. But ask that big why. I asked once to my son during vacation, Maitre, why you are on planet Earth? I said, wow, why am I here on planet Earth? So this is the success. हम कितने भी गूगल खेल लें, गूगल से असली वाली रोटियां डाउनलोड नहीं कर सकते. These people are not, as I said, like not born on the Google. We have to understand that nature, the Panch Tattva, from where we have come, right? So during my surgery also, when I was there on the bed, just in front of my bedroom, like through a window, I could see the good tree, the birds, and the nature used to heal me. So for this generation, I'm talking in the context of success, the peace of mind. You need to find your way. That sukoon, peace of mind. Be honest with yourself. When I stand in front of a mirror, I ask myself, am I honest with the person I see in the mirror? Because ultimately it's between me and myself. Am I evolving? Am I more honest? If I'm honest, I'm more courageous. You see? So that's success.
And what is your motivation mantra?
When I get demotivated, I try to motivate others. I motivate others. So I think this is a Zen proverb somewhere I read long back. And it really, motivation could be, for example, I make, cinematic reels, for example, making some romantic reels in a sense, a lip sync song or something, or maybe fitness reel. Because there are people who love to watch these reels, not just dissemination of knowledge. Definitely I make some good videos, 4-5 minutes videos, as I said, about the book reading series which I run there. The talks also, and sharing my spiritual inspiration quotes, Jiddu Krishnamurti, who says, truth is a pathless land, and he says, observer is the observed. So I believe, success is being the first-hand person. I'm fresh, pristine. If you are able to overcome being second-handed person, most of us are like second-handed person. In a sense, we talk about the borrowed knowledge. And that is one of the flip side today when it comes to the spiritual side. In a sense, a lot of things are there on net, on the books. People read, which is a little, different and sounds little wise, intellectual stuff. And they will share with their people, down the line. Just to a kind of impression management that, I know better than you, holier than thou concept. No. So this is about the success.
Though it varies from person to person, as I said, it varies from age to age, stage to stage. But ultimately, we have to question why we are on planet Earth. What are the purpose of life? So, can I say to the Gen Z, my mantra? When you're taking up any program, any educational program, first surface out, fathom out very seriously, honestly, what are the purpose of your existence, why you're born here. Until the time you're alive, your work is not done. Purpose. For example, lot many problems exist in the world. Lot many things, right? That is what entropy is, right? The measure of randomness. And your heart goes out toward the people who are poor and suffering from medical challenge. And आपको ये लगता है कि यार इनको ना मेडिकली इनको हेल्प करनी चाहिए मेडिकल तौर पे. तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि सिर्फ डॉक्टर बन के आप सेवा करें. So we know that purpose. So according to that, you map the profession. कि आपको क्या बनना है. अगर आप डॉक्टर बन सकते हैं बहुत अच्छी बात है. Great. We need doctors. Still, you know, there is scarcity of doctors, right? So डॉक्टर बने. नहीं बन पाए, so हेल्थ केयर में आपको लगता है कि कुछ करें. नहीं आपको लगता है कि आपको हॉस्पिटल खोलना है. आप BBA कर लो, हेल्थ केयर MBA कर लो, राइट? अब आपका हॉस्पिटल खोल दो, आपको सेवा ही करनी ना. सो पर्पस जब क्लियर है, प्रोफेशन हो गया. उसके हिसाब से आप एजुकेशनल कोर्स जो प्रोग्राम ये बता रहा था कि आप हेल्थ केयर MBA कर सकते हैं, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं आप, राइट? उसके हिसाब से फिर आप आपके प्रोफेशनल स्किल्स. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक और आ रहा है मेरे जहन में, पांडवास. द पर्पस वॉज टू हैव अ वेरी जस्टिस हस्तिनापुर, सबको न्याय मिले. पर हर किसी का इंटरेस्ट एरिया अलग था. भीम गदाधारी थे, अर्जुन वॉज लाइक बॉय एंड एरो, राइट? लेकिन पर्पस ठीक एक था, लेकिन अगर मैं उनके पैशन की बात करूं तो अलग अलग था. सो समवन इज इंटरेस्टेड इन टू AI नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ द सोशल मीडिया इन्फ्लुएंसर एंड द पीयर प्रेशर दैट कर लो, नहीं, इट हैज बिकम इंटीग्रल पार्ट. आपको अच्छा लगता है करने के लिए तो आप करो. आप हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर में आप उसका यूज कर सकते हो. आई जस्ट गिव वन एग्जाम्पल. दिस इज वॉट people should keep in mind, the Gen Z, when it comes to choosing career also.
Okay, and who are your role models?
Yeah, I learn from everyone and everybody, Sarikaa. I'm learning from you now. You know,
But
moment to moment.
sorry to interrupt. Previously, you were mentioning Shah Rukh Khan name and other person also.
Of course.
I'm talking about that.
Star,
Yeah.
Silver Star, yeah. That is definitely there. I learn from every boss I work with, the leaders, the subordinates, the player. Right, this is one of my achievements, Sarikaa, that right from my first job, it's been 30 years now, people, they love me, they're in touch with me, I'm in touch with them, they're in touch with me right from my first job. It's been like 15, 16, different, organization I work with. So Shah Rukh Khan, definitely, and in fact, I have made one video also about what I learned from Shah Rukh Khan. The thing is, one thing which very close to my heart about Shah Rukh Khan is he respects women a lot. आप यकीन नहीं करोगे, मेरे हर वर्कशॉप में toward the end, I ask all the boys, all the men who are there, like if it is a heterogeneous batch, if the girls are there, and even only if the men are there, irrespective, I ask them toward the end, and you can check on my social media. बोलते हैं कि अपन हम एक प्रॉमिस लेते हैं, फिर से एक प्लेज लेते हैं, एक ओथ लेते हैं, सबको ऐसे हाथ करने के लिए बोलता हूँ. I ask them to stand up and I say 3 times मेरे साथ बोलो, I respect women, I respect women, I respect women. And not just for the heck of saying, but you have to truly respect. Because you have to work like a team. Yeah. So that is one thing I learned from Shah Rukh. There are a lot many things. He is like, Junoon. Look at his fitness. जो भी role है, like Pathan है, Jawan अभी recently आया. So he get under the skin, he'll work out. इवन जिम के अंदर में उनके पर्सनल ट्रेनर्स का मैं अभी यूट्यूब देख रहा था, कहते हैं शाहरुख को जब तक पसीना नहीं आता तब तक वो मेहनत करते हैं. सो ही लीड्स बाय एन एग्जांपल. एंड वन मोर थिंग व्हिच आई लर्न फ्रॉम शाहरुख इज डेफिनेटली ही इज अमेजिंग ओरेटर, द प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड, हाजिर जवाबी, एंड माइंड ब्लोइंग सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर, एंड ही रेस्पेक्ट्स पीपल. देयर आर लॉट मेनी थिंग्स अबाउट शाहरुख, बट एवरीवन हैज अ रोल मॉडल. लेकिन एक चीज़ मैं यहाँ बोलना चाहूँगा टू द जेन जी ऑल्सो एंड एवरीवन अराउंड. See, having a role model is okay, but blind role modeling, one has to be a little careful. Suppose your role model is endorsing products which are not healthy. तो मैं कई बार फिर उनके बारे में वो भी लिख देता हूँ कि नहीं ऐसे कैसे. So you have to pick up the good things, the positive things, which can make you more positive. That's what.
Great.
And don't be a copycat. You have your own voice. You learn from them and try to flower into your beingness. You may look like him, you may sound like him, whatever, it's fine. But then you have your own uniqueness. Flower into that. Comparison is the prison, the biggest prison. Yeah. You have to flower into your consciousness.
So now, as our podcast is coming to an end, I would like to know one more thing. You are working currently somewhere as a director in some institution.
Yes.
Tell me about that job, the role you play there.
Sure, I love to. I'm designated as Director, Office of Strategic Initiatives.
Okay.
And this university, Chitkara University, I take a lot of pride. And let me do one thing. In 30 years, almost 15 organizations, at the most 4.5 years, I could sustain myself, because there was always, hunger to learn more, to move from one organization to another organization, to stretch my learning curve. But this organization, Sarikaa, and it speaks volumes, this is my 7th year running. So it speaks volumes, and the reason behind is the vision of this organization. Vision is to be globally recognized organization, promoting academic excellence through interdisciplinary research, applied research, and expanding the realms of knowledge through innovation. So this is not just academic university, this is a research university, this is like corporate university, and we take a lot of pride when it comes to even the designing of the curriculum, like it's revamped based on the industry inputs it is done, and the pedagogy is not just like lecture mode, but project-based learning, a lot of on the job, and we enable students to find their voice and learn what the industry expects. So industry people flying, and which is why the placement is is really great. It's really great. So the leadership is very humble, very humble. When it comes to Chitkara, the Chitkara family, the founders, they're teachers. They were teachers, and still they're like teachers. So they exhibit great degree of humility. Amazing. And Mr. Mohit Chitkara I was talking about. I have not made a person more humble than him. Amazing. A lot of freedom. Yeah, and it is fun to work with our team leader, Dr. Manjinder Dhaliwal. Very matured, must, very caring. He treats his team like a family. Yeah, that's about the Chitkara University, and the tagline ours is explore your potential. Best university. I am really grateful to everyone at Chitkara University. The role which I play at Chitkara University is representing Chitkara University, going to potential schools, colleges, institutes, and delivering workshops.
Great, Kiran. So thank you so much today for joining our podcast and being our guest and sharing so much of life knowledge from bouncing back to life, Gallup strength, what are the leadership qualities, and what really success should be in today's age. Thank you so much for being our guest.
I reciprocate the feelings, Sarikaa. It's again a great pleasure to be with you, and I would like to say, please accept my deepest possible gratitude, and I'm going to mention my 4 lines, शिद्दत मेरी आदत है, आज़ादी मेरी फितरत, मैं जो भी करूं पूरे जुनून से करूं, ताकि जब भी मरूं, आज भी मरूं, अब भी मरूं, सुकून से मरूं. Thank you very much, Sarikaa.
Thank you so
very
much.
much breaking the norms. Keep breaking the norms positively.